Hi, so today I'm going to talk about farming Aethersands, in particular Chiaroglow, Scuroglow, Agewood, and Agedeep Aethersands. So first of all, what they're used for. Chiaroglow Aethersand is the most useless one right now. It's only used for the first great tincture. Right now, this is not really BIS, so this is only useful for white script turn-ins or if you want a cheap alternative. Scuroglow, on the other hand, is used exclusively in Grade 2 tinctures. We are not using Chiaroglow anymore, so in that respect, it's much more valuable than Chiaroglow. Agewood and Agedeep Aethersands are used in Alkahesks. Alkahesks are used in item level 450 crafted gear, as you can see. So what you want to do is to get your Aethersands in at Ephemeral nodes. Ephemeral nodes only spawn 4 hours in 4-hour windows. So for example, Chiaroglow Aethersand at Raktika, which is the Gale Rock collectible, spawns from 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. Scuroglow, on the other hand, spawns from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. and they keep rotating. Unlike let's see, alarm, you can get the alarm just like this, and once you use it, execute it, you can get alarms like this in game, so you don't have to use a third-party website. We can also use a third-party website. Anyways, what you want to do is to go to ephemeral nodes to farm your Aethersands. But also note that, unlike unspoiled nodes, ephemeral nodes actually keep spawning in that 4-hour window, so you can keep resetting it, unlike unspoiled nodes, because once you interact with unspoiled nodes and collect your stuff, it's gone forever in that window until the next window. But ephemeral nodes can keep resetting it. It will keep spawning until the window ends, so you don't have to worry about it. So in this respect, your goal is to collect as many collectibles as possible during that 4-hour window. So what an ephemeral node looks like is this ephemeral lush vegetation patch. And as you can see, this is a bit shiny and doesn't look like the other normal nodes. Now head to the ephemeral node and interact with it. If you do not have this unlocked, it will just show unknown, so you just have to use your field mastery skill and then unlock it. But once you have unlocked it, you can use your collectibles glove and interact with it to go into the collectible screen. This should be familiar if you done any unspoiled node farming. So here I linked a rotation. It's pretty complicated and seems daunting at first, but it's actually really simple once you get used to it. So let's follow it step by step, starting from single mine. It says to single mine here if your remaining GP is above 800, and our GP is 808, so we do have enough GP. So we can use single mine here, and then we can use instinctual. And then we have to use single mine if our GP is above 600, so we are. So we can use single mine again, and use instinctual. Now it asks us to look at our collectability. If it's below 283 or above, and we're above, so we are going to go up the path towards single mine and instinctual. Now I have to check out collectability again. Are we below 433, between 433 and 490, or above 490? We are below 433, so going to go down the lower path. And asks us to use utmost caution and methodical. And then asks us to collect, so we're going to do that. Note that on this screen we see 543 collectability or rather rarity, but actually increased to 560 here because every time you collect, there's like a random increase to your collectability rating. It's anywhere from 0% increase to 10% increase. Previous rotations in Heavensward and Stormblood did not account for this random increase, so they're actually really unoptimized. This time around, this rotation actually factors in HQ chances, note bonuses, core usage, and the random collectability increase, so it's much better than previous rotations. Now, after you've collected your sweet Majorums in this case, you can ethereally reduce it. So what you want to do is go to Character, Actions and Traits. As you can see, there's an ethereal reduction button here. You can drag it onto your hotbar. But you can also directly reduce it from your inventory, like so. When you open the ethereal reduction screen, you can see a purity rate. It's 8 out of 8 in this case. Starting from 5 out of 8, you can get Aethersands from it, and if you're below 5 out of 8, there's no chance of getting any Aethersands. 8 out of 8, of course, gives the most Aethersands, but anywhere from 6 to 8, 6, 7, and 8 get pretty good yield on Aethersands. 5 out of 8 is like half of 6 out of 8, where 6 out of 8 is around like 80% of 8 out of 8, so 6 to 8 are really good. 5 is a huge step down, so you should always aim to get between 6 and 8. So let's reduce it. As you can see, there's a chance of not getting Aethersands, and instead you get clusters. It's unavoidable, but you always get crystals. As you can see, we've got 8 Scuroglow Aethersand, and we did not get Aethersand this time. And our last one gives us 5 Aethersand. Now the node is gone, but we're still between 4 AM to 8 AM. So what you want to do, first of all, once you finish gathering your stuff, you should use your high cordial. Always try to keep your high cordial on cooldown. Now what you want to do to respawn that node is to go to 2 other different nodes that are not adjacent to each other. Just touch with it, you do not need to get anything from it. That's the first one we got to. And we go to another one. Interact with it and just leave. And then we come back to the Ephemeral node and interact with it again. As you can see, it spawned again once we visited 2 different nodes. This time, let's follow the rotation again. We do not have 800 GP, so we're going to skip Single Mind. Do not use that. We're going to use Instinctual. And then this time it asks if our GP is above 600 we are, so we can use Single Mind. And use Instinctual. Alright. So we're really below 283 this time, so we're going to use Instinctual following the lower path. And then we are going to go into the middle path because 377, we're going to go to the upper path because we're above 375, so we're going to use Single Mind, Utmost Caution, and Methodical. And then we can collect it. As you can see, even though we're below 500, we're actually really likely to get a above 500 collectability rate. So let's reduce this again. 5 out of 8 gives really crappy yield, so 7 out of 8 gives better yield. Now our strategy is to keep doing this again. Respawn the node by interacting with 2 different nodes. And as you can see, our GP is pretty low right now, and Cordio is not up yet. But we got a really good note bonus. This is guaranteed attempts +2. So typically what I do here is I just look at my Cordio and my GP, and I see my Cordio is going to be available really soon, and my GP when I use Cordio will be around 700, which is enough to execute a good rotation. So I'm gonna wait here. And then my GP is now 721. Let's interact with node. Use Instinctual. Our GP is above 600, so we're gonna single mine. Now let's see. Our collectibility is below 283, so we're gonna use Instinctual following the lower path. Now it's between 341 and 375, so we're gonna go into the middle path. Now let's check if it's above or below 490. It's below 490, so I'm going to use Stickler and collect. Now let's repeat this strategy by going to 2 different nodes. Now as you can see, our GP this time is really low, and probably do not have our Cordio back up by the time we reach it again. But you do not really want to just wait there and do nothing, right? So I'm going to tell you what to do if you do not have enough GP. There are 2 different philosophies here. One is to keep farming the note bonus, and as you can see we have a gathering attempts +1 note bonus, so we can just stay here. If we do not have gathering attempts +1, we can visit 2 different nodes again to reset this node, and even though it did not disappear, the note bonus will be re-rolled again, and you have a chance of getting gathering attempts +1 or +2. So in your GP downtime, when you do not have enough GP and your Cordio is pretty far away from being off cooldown again, you can keep refreshing this node to get gathering attempts +1 or +2. That's one way of doing it. The other way is to actually just interact with this node with a really cheap GP rotation. Sample 200 GP rotations to use Single Mine, Impulsive 2, and 2 Instinctuals, and collect. As you can see, this does not always give you enough collectability, but because it's really cheap, you can use it in your downtime. As you can see, they're all below 5 out of 8. But this is also a way to utilize your downtime, to use the RNG of Impulsive to at least give you some chance at getting some Aethersands while you do not have your Cordials up. The next one is that's Lakeland. Let's teleport there. So now let's execute our strategy again, and this time I'll show you what it means to keep baiting note bonuses by resetting it. So let's execute our rotation again. We have 800 GP, so I'm going to use Single Mine Instinctual. We're below 283. And we're between 341 and 375. And we're above 490, so we can collect now. By the way, in the long run, it's not worth it to use any of the gathering attempts. I mean, gathering percentage increase abilities because they actually cost a lot. Gonna use a Chiaroglow, and as you can see, we do not really have a lot of GP right now. So we're gonna reset the node first. And this time we want to bait the correct node bonus. But this is pretty RNG, and it's up to you to decide if this is worth it. As you can see, there's no node bonus, so we immediately leave and reset it by visiting 2 nodes again. This is my personal strategy, and look at your GP bar closely because you do not want to overcap on GP. Every GP is really useful, so do not waste it. Come back here, and we have a node bonus now, so we're gonna wait until we hit 600 GP. This rotation I linked can be executed with 400 GP. So, I'm gonna use Instinctual, Single Mind Instinctual. You know, below 283, so we're gonna use Instinctual. This time we're still below it, so we're going to use Discerning Eye, Utmost Caution, Methodical. We're still below it, so we're going to use the worst rotation, Stickler, and Collect. It's pretty rare occurrence, it's like below 1%. And so as you can see, we have no GP again, so we're going to keep baiting node bonus once again. So let's talk about what you want to do if you're below 400 GP and you still want to use that rotation. In that case, it's going to be a bit RNG because the only way you can get anything with 400 GP reliably is to use is to get a lot of single minds. That means you can get only like 1 item. But if you do not want any downtime, that's the way to go. As you can see, we did not get a node bonus just now, so we decided to reset it once again into the 2 different nodes. And we look at it once again. We do not have a node bonus yet, so we're going to do that again to reset it. And there is a chance that you will not get any node bonus all the way until you reach like 800 GP. In that case, what you want to do is to just execute the rotation anyways, because you do not really want to waste your GP. The longer you let it cap, the more wasteful it is, and we got another one, so we can use it. This time is 342, so we do this. We use Stickler. So yeah, this is basically the 2 ways of farming for Aethersands. First of all, you want, in both ways, you want to use that rotation I'm linking right now. and then you split up into two cases. One is if you do not want to just sit around waiting for a note bonus, you use a cheap 200 GP or a 0 GP rotation on every single note you see, no matter if it has a note bonus or not. The other way is to keep baiting note bonuses. If you do not see a note bonus, just keep resetting the note. I think both ways. I simulated that in not Shadowbringers, but Stormblood, and they give roughly around the same yield in the long run. So really, it makes not much difference. It might surprise you to see that you get around the same yield even if you're actually using the rotation of every single ephemeral node and not just keep baiting it. The reason is because whenever you interact with the ephemeral node, your GP stops regenerating. And with this method, your GP doesn't really stop regenerating at all, because once you touch it, you go, so you have 0 downtime. So in the end, because of that GP stalling when you interact with the node, these two ways of doing things end up being roughly the same. So you can use whichever method you want, whichever helps make you sleep at night. We got a +1 gathering attempt 1 again, so we can use it. Interact with the node, and execute the rotation. We're at 364, so we're gonna use it. Collect. And reduce. So yeah, this is basically how you farm Aethersands efficiently. So far we have discovered. There might be a better method right out there, but it has to be tested rigorously with a simulator and math. And this is the best one we've got with just math and sims right now. So yeah, I hope this helped, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to jump on in the balance and ask us any questions you have any, and I thank you.